Alright, so for those of you just tuning in, I'm about to give my commentary on another Age of Empires 2 HD Edition viewer game. This time, featuring my robot son and custom AI on the Steam Workshop Resonance Bot version 5-1C, a project of almost 5 years in the making. Resonance Bot is the perfect AI to practice against and also play with your friends. It's extremely customizable too if you actually read the FAQ on the Steam Workshop page, which I have no evidence that any human has read, but I did write it, and it is very useful to read. I put my heart and soul into the 25,000 lines of code that make up that AI to make it the most fun AI and computer player experience possible. So if you enjoy Comp Stomps, it was made for you. And I could not be more proud of it, despite the massive AoE 2 HD engine limitations that are really hard to work with. So please don't trust it if you have the soul. No Tower Rush, please. You can actually beat it. Now, Hardest, a lot of people tell me that Hardest is extremely difficult, and that's completely intentional. I basically set the difficulty level, up 1 from the standard AI at just every level, because the Hardest AI is too easy for skilled players. So, the Hardest AI for Resonance Bot is supposed to be very difficult, but you can actually beat it with legitimate standard build orders, like my Night Rush tutorial, for example. You can actually beat it specifically with that exact build order. It's just that it's not supposed to be easy. So you don't actually need to trust it or anything. It's quite nice. But anyway, I actually do have some other gameplay of my AI on my YouTube channel, but it's really hard to get the teams balanced because everyone's ELO in AoE 2 HD is basically just a random number at this point. It used to be kinda accurate before patch 4.0 alienated, it just chopped off half of the, I'd say 1800 plus rated player base, and they all moved over to Voobly. And from that point on, the skilled player population has really plummeted and resulted in a lot of Smurfs, and as a result, ELO is all over the place, so it's been really hard to actually balance the teams. We're playing on a version of Arena which I actually made myself, which is exactly the same as normal Arena, but it features the new art assets just to keep things nice and pretty. If anyone has any questions about my AI, please feel free to ask me, as now is a great opportunity to do so. There are a couple issues with the stream today because of an update to Google Chrome breaking some of my extensions, but I'll do my best to answer any questions. Just tag @Resonance22 to get my attention. Now, if you're looking to learn the game, you're at No Better Channel, in which I have both tutorials, but also expert game commentaries where I provide some of the most in-depth analysis that you'll be able to find out there, which will help you learn the game on a more advanced level once you get to a really comfortable skill level. So, I make sure to offer as much in-depth analysis as possible during my AoE 2 Expert series, while also having accessible tutorials. So, see a nice little boar lure, or rhino lure in this case here, by Denna. We'll see if the villager stops randomly. Denna will be playing as the Teutons, and actually I think this rhino will just end up being almost perfect, if not perfect. This is very close, very, very close. So, to introduce the players, it's going to be Wriggle playing as the Orange Magyars. We'll be teaming up with Washi, the Blue Goths, and Resonance Bot, who will be the Gray Goths. Why are there two Goths in this game? God, Skug's the Goths. Okay. Alright, and on the opposing team we've got Henry, Plant Jeanette, who will be playing as the Red Italians, Denna playing as the Green Teutons, and we have Skug Fisk playing as the Yellow Goths. I'll tell you, after all the Empires apart, it is bizarre, but good to be home. I realized that after spending 140 hours on those 4 videos that, I need to relearn how to actually play Age of Empires 2, because even though I know all the strategies and I know the metagame in depth and I can still cast, I can't physically play because the hotkeys are different. It used to be that in Empires Apart I would just change the hotkeys to match my Age of Empires 1s and try and find roughly equivalent buildings, but I gave up because every patch they just reset and the game gets patched every 5 minutes, and also all the cities are designed super differently, so I just gave up. And I'm so used to that hotkey system that now when I play this game, I'm like building outposts by accident, and it's just I would be a better player now, currently, if I never learned to use hotkeys at all. Because now it's just a clown fiesta. When I tried to play after the 140 hours Empires Apart, but yeah, it feels really good to just finally have a little bit of free time now, as did before. Is he gonna do lure? We'll see. Henry didn't need to delete 2 tiles there. He probably should have left only 1. But yeah, it feels good to be back. But yeah, you can't let the last patch have this, for example. Like, this is left over from testing, and they just left that in the game. They left that in the game. Blackman says the new patch of Resbot is made on Hot Topic. I mean, that's a lot of goths. Hey! So, I actually will be releasing another update to Resonance Bot. The only reason I haven't yet is because Skybox decided to leave AoE 2 HD on a very good note with this monstrosity in the corner that is there for no reason whatsoever, as well as an option that nobody asked for that completely breaks all AIs, including custom AIs, called Enable Audio Taunts. And when patch 5.7 came out, it disabled it for every single player, thus making my AI not work at all. So, in order to play versus Resonance Bot, you do need to actually enable audio taunts and use the chat menu to communicate with it. But it just will not work at all without that setting. The fact that it affects AIs makes no sense. So not only is it an option that no one's asked for that I've seen, I can understand why you'd want to add it, but of all the features to add at the last minute before, you know, doing whatever they're doing now, I don't know what they're actually doing now, is bizarre. Definitely bizarre, and the fact that it affects AIs is the worst part. But I will be releasing one more update to it. Okay, so yeah, I was just had to remind Wriggle to adjust the difficulty. So I actually have 6 difficulty settings technically. If you find that the difficulty gap between moderate and hard is too large, then you can actually send the AI 99, and if you follow the instructions, the FAQ that I claim exists routinely, but there's no evidence that anyone's, you know, read it or anything, so maybe it's not real. It's not observable, you know? It's like, I've never really seen an atom, but I hear a lot about them, so are they real? Is gravity real? I don't know. The FAQ is real, though, and if you send 99 to a moderate difficulty resonance bot, it will set it to a level between moderate and hard. If you find the difficulty gap to be too large, but due to its difficulty scaling mechanism, which is completely unique to it as an AI, it's the first AI to ever do that in AoE 2's history. And so what it does is it will actually read the data of players, and instead of like the Conqueror's AI, use it for cheating purposes and use it poorly, it will read the data of players to roughly determine their skill level, speed, and familiarity with the game, and then slightly adjust the difficulty upward or downward to a degree based off the actual difficulty level you selected to try and match the skill level of the players in the game. Now again, it does that based off the actual difficulty level that you selected, so you know, easiest isn't going to scale up very much, but it does scale down a lot if you are really, really slow, for example. And it's a really cool system, I think, especially the way that Resonance Bot handles resources and economy. I think is great. We'll see how fair this game is, but it might actually turn out to be a good one. Vladex says, at Resonance 22, I noticed your AI tends to build a tower or two in their base. Is there a reason for this, or has it just picked up over time? So that's just one of the ways that I have it. So I wasn't trying to design an AI that was the most strategically optimized, even though my AI is really smart and advanced, and has one of the most complex unit countering systems that you'll find in the game, and... Okay, that was weird. I think I just selected that hawk away. Wow. Didn't know I had that power. I feel like Zeus right now. So, the AI builds towers. I had Resonance Bot build towers in its own base to try and protect itself against rushes that it can't defend itself against due to engine limitations. So, it does that defensively. It prefers to. Not for all builds, but for some builds it will, because the limitations of the engine make AIs in general very vulnerable to rushes. So it's just one of the ways to compensate for that. And there are all sorts of problems like this, for example, where that I reported but were unfortunately not fixed. I actually think I showcased a clip of this in my Age of Empires 4 video, if y'all remember, which was a long time ago. Does anyone remember that video? Yeah, this was never fixed. And this is the reason why AIs need additional resources on the highest difficulty levels. Otherwise, they just get crippled by things like this. Now, this is not a problem in the original Age of Empires 2 because they didn't lure boars, and in the user patch they lure boars like you would expect, but here, you know, it's a disaster, so Resident Spot, poor guy, is going to be stuck with just a reduced amount of hunters. Yeah, I mean, I have it set up, though, with a ton of failsafes in there, and you know that the engine is shoddy when I have a huge section of the code dedicated specifically to failsafes. So every single time a Skybox bug event happens like this, the AI runs like a check, like every... It's very well optimized too, but it still runs this check, like about every minute. Like, wait a minute, am I under attack by Skybox? Am I humping this wall? And then it will give up on the boar. So we saw that right there in action. Very proud. Failsafe mechanism works. So, we got some players in the Castle Age. We've got Denna up in the Castle Age here. Fairly standard boom coming out from him. Looks like he... Wow, with the... fairly early, honestly, Siege Workshop and Monastery, so... Denna, much better player than he appears. Wasn't Denna like in the 1600 ELO range? This is exactly what I mean. What the hell? It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And Henry, of course, with a very fast Castle Age timing. Wriggle now in the Castle Age himself. We'll swap around to some of the players' perspectives and see that Resident Spot is currently advancing. And we'll see what build order and strategy it goes for. So Resident Spot has about 40 plus unique strategies that it can pull from. I think the exact number is somewhere closer to like 42 to 46. I'm not entirely sure. I keep adding new ones. And it has civilization-specific ones as well. And again, one of the most complex unit countering systems there is. And as a result, ELO's all over the place, so it's been really hard to actually balance the teams. We'll see how fair this game is, but it might actually turn out to be a good one. So what, is Denna just get... Denna's 1600 rated! He's about to get owned by this Jaguar. Check out the minimum range of these bad boys. You can't convert a Jaguar to Christianity yet. Oh wow, look at the What's the Jaguar doing? Does it do this in Age of Empires 2? Wow, it actually survived that mangonel attack. Nice, nice. Alright, now Resident Spot has advanced to the Castle Age. But Denna is just going to kill it out of the game, so I never get to showcase Resident Spot. Rip. Oh, come on. What is this? You're 1600 rated, you spawned right next to him, and Resident Spot's like, as far away from his teammates as physically possible. It's just Resident Spot's like all the way over here. I thought these were the two teams, but they're not. So yeah, we'll see how Resident Spot handles this one, but I think that the victory is going to go to the Jaguar right now. Not the best-selling console, but definitely one of the apex predators. Never mind, actually sucks. On the moderate difficulty, it's fairly slow, and it looks like Denna is as good as Washi is, so Denna is like 1750 plus, so Resident Spot's already dead. Alright, so for those of you just tuning in, this is the problem with me streaming, trying to create content that's specifically for YouTube as well as Twitch, in which, yeah, it's like this, it's this phenomenon. I don't know what it's actually called scientifically, but maybe people in the chat can help me. What's that one called where Zero Empire is in the pocket, but he gets tower rushed anyway? I don't remember what that... But I remember studying that in college. It's a really interesting phenomenon, and it affects all streamers. Similarly, it affects me. It's like, whenever I'm trying to, like... So if I was... The topic of today's video was like, why are the Burmese such a good civilization? The Burmese would just get dumpstered. They would just get absolutely dumpstered. Like Pete would be in the game and he would just be eating Burmese for breakfast, making them look like the worst civilization in the game. And it would be beautiful, because that's just how it works. Gragulus says the observer effect. Kanye TOS says the Zero Empire's pocket effect. Maybe, yeah. So it's actually a mathematical thing, though. It's the further away Zero Empire is from you. Yeah, so it is an observable effect. The further away Zero Empires is from you, the more likely you are to rush him in a community game. And as a streamer, I can say it's extremely frustrating when people do that to us. But people do that just for the screen time, so my heart and soul goes out to Zach. But yeah, there's like a certain formula based off rush distance. Like, if you're that far away and the strategy is not viable... Yeah. Kanye Twist says, the further you are in the pocket, the more towers get placed in your base. Exactly. Delish Hot Sky says, it's the I want to be in the video phenomenon. Nailed it. That's the thing. That is exactly what it's called. By the way, thank you Syspawn for the $10 donation, and Odette for hosting me for 23 viewers. Really appreciate it. As well as Vitriol for following the stream, and Xcal as well. Thank you, thank you. It is called the I want to be in the video phenomenon. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, or stream sniping. Yeah, a little bit. Hey, Tupac Liz, welcome to the stream. Look at everyone bully the bot. So, I didn't completely introduce all the players. So we got Wriggle playing as the Orange Turks, teaming up with the Grey Incas, the Resonance Bot, as well as Washi, the Green Koreans. That's actually a pretty strong team. That might be the winning team. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Skugfisk, the Red Ethiopians. Henry, Plant Jeanette, the Yellow Japanese, and Denna, the Blue Berbers. But, or wait, no. He was just having his scout there, but he wasn't actually using it to defend the AI. Kill the scouts. Do it. Do it now. Execute. Well, they're not gonna do it. Then dropping a TC over here. I like this location. Always build your town centers adjacent to the tree line, as well as a mineral if you can get double the value. And what a shocker, the double stable opening from the Berbers. Will we be seeing some night play? I don't know. I don't know. Some people are into that. And chances are, if you're the Berbers, you're really into that night play. Also a castle. This is an immaculately well-placed defensive castle by Denna. This is a Res 22 castle. Now, it could be a little bit better, because he can't really completely saturate with farms because it's kind of house blocking it, but it actually might be even better this way because it does kind of create a bit of a wall off and it actually prevents this castle from being surrounded and still leaves plenty of room for the villagers to garrison. So this is actually flawless. I would give it a 10 out of 10. I don't have a sign to hold up, but I am holding one up now. Essentially, it protects 2 town centers, 2 groups of farmers, and your main gold. It also makes it really difficult to get to the back wood line. Actually, I like this house and mining camp placement too. This is excellent. It makes it very difficult for units to actually path around this castle too. This is a fantastic, fantastic castle placement. Just overall building placement by Denna. Taking advantage of the fact that the siege tower is a unit I really don't enjoy having in the game, and making sure that he's safe in case shenanigans happen. So, speaking of shenanigans, looks like Wriggle is under assault, but he's got light cavalry. Nice. Now, will he focus down the monks with the light cavalry, or let them get converted? Because they're not immune to conversion, they just take longer to get converted. So that was a slight mistake there, but I understand why he would do it. But you actually focus fire down the monks first with the light cavalry in response to this build, so you'd respond with the correct units, but not the correct targets. And now he's gonna go make, wow, good mangonel shot there, and nice, yeah, nice, and he's making a spearman. The Spearman will not be enough, though, to take out this Knight because of the Bloodlines upgrade, but the, wow, really well-placed house by Wriggle. Sheesh, Wriggle's under Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 4. That was also a good mangonel shot, even though a little bit of friendly fire. He actually is holding the line against Henry, the Merciless. Henry, the Mad King, With the 3 triple forward barracks action researching pikemen, will the man get arson? That is the question. Now what he's doing is he's taking advantage of the fact that Wriggle is suffering from what I call awkward Turks disease, in which the Turks don't get a good variety of units. They're very, very narrow civilization. So what you do is you monk rush them, monk and mangonel rush them, and then what you do is out of the line of sight of your opponent, so we go over to Wriggle, it's the Fog of War, you build some barracks that he's not aware of, and then you get shanked by pikemen with 25% extra attack speed. That's really good, and if you're extra good, you can seal the actual existence of the pikemen, although it looks like the pikemen themselves have been revealed by Washi losing that scout, so that'll be quite important. And game is frozen, but not quite. Good, good, good. Bad, bad, bad. Oh, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. All right, we're still in. We're still in. And yeah, Wriggle, this is a very well-placed mangonel. One thing he could do, though, is he could repair this with a villager. That would be a good idea. But what he's done is he's effectively stalled this push. He's getting 2v1'd, so now we're gonna have to rely on Resonsbot in the pocket. So, Wriggle can ask Resonsbot to attack an enemy now, or Resonsbot will attempt to read the situation automatically. We'll see. What we're witnessing right now, actually, is that my bot is now opening its walls, and you might be wondering why. And the reason being is that Resonsbot is opening its walls because the AI engine is so limited in AoE2 HD that if it doesn't delete its walls, and you see this with the default AI, the walls don't actually protect it at a point. So Resonsbot has analyzed the situation, the game situation, and believes that it is currently safe enough. It has a castle, a lot of villagers, a lot of town centers. He thinks that's the defensive infrastructure. It's mass mining gold, I think, because it needs a little bit of additional gold to get to the Imperial Aid, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna check out on Resonsbot. Yeah, it is mass mining gold now to try and correct its economy, and will presumably start selling wood as well. I believe the start selling wood, and yeah, there we go. It'll start kicking in around 30 minutes, which is usually when it wants to start advancing to the castle. But yeah, see, it's trying to expand its base. And otherwise it wouldn't be able to do that if it didn't delete its walls. So, cool to see that in action. But the thing is, though, is that, yeah, he goes a little bit imbalanced on the wood department, but we'll correct that soon at the market. And we go back to Wriggle's perspective. He is in deep trouble now as he is getting ganged up on. Resonsbot will come to its aid, but it's going to take a little bit of time, so hopefully Washi actually sends some units. Washi should probably send those units now, and not wait at all. I don't see any reason to wait. And you can actually, I'll just tell Wriggle this, you can actually communicate with the AI. Wriggle, if you type 31, then 104, the AI will attack and target yellow. You can actually ask Resonsbot for help. Interesting to see it making Turks cavalry archers, which are not nearly as bad as people have always said they are, by the way. Nor are cavalry archers in the expansions. They're now actually picked up a little bit in the metagame, which I find hilarious, even though there haven't really been any changes made to them in a tremendously long time. They're actually fairly cost-efficient unit, especially if you can get Sapahi with the castle, which Wriggle was trying to do really badly. But now he's getting the Resbot treatment from, like, last game. And now we're waiting for Washi to go send in the defense. They are actually the stronger team, they're just leaving Wriggle out to die. For not much of a good reason. So, we'll see. I like Skugfisk with this nice little wall off over here. He's got a very, very large army. He could actually just kill Washi with this, because Washi is sending his army to go defend his teammate, which he should do is the correct decision. We should also bring some bills over there, so that he can build some... So there we go, he finally did it. A little late, but yes. No one will read the FAQ. It's okay. I've come to terms with it, everybody. Mr. Statistical says the correct command Resonance 22 is Torpedo 3. Touche. Touche. Hey, Scarface Frostborn, thank you for your tier 3 subscription for 7 months. Really appreciate Scarface Frostborn. Always a pleasure to have you in the stream. Oh, now we get to see Resident Spot's sassy randomized taunts. I love that. I think it adds a lot of flavor to the game. So just give the AI personality. I think it makes it more exciting and fun to actually defeat him. So like, when are they gonna save him? I feel like it's so late. Poor Riddle. And they're 2v1ing him as well. Ah, it's so hard to get good gameplay for you two. It's so hard. That's why I like casting replays rather than viewer games. But I might post this one anyway. You know. Resident Spot on hard is again. Yeah, now see now he's coming. Yeah, it takes a while, but see there we go. The system works, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, give me a seems good. We did it. We did it. I told you it works. You just have to tell it to it's all in the FAQ. I swear. Show me some love, please. 25,000 likes ago. It works. It actually works. He's doing it. He's sending help. He's attacking an enemy now. And he's going for you. I'm so proud of you, son. I'm so proud of you. Ah, God bless your sweet little heart. And also, Wriggle, don't give up. And someone fucking tribute Wriggle. Also ask it for money. And now I will leave him to his game. He might live. He can finish Thomas with something. But yeah, thank you everybody for all the love. I told you that the buttons do things. The buttons do things. You're wondering, why is your pocket not defending you? Don't worry, there's a command for that. It's all part of my book. It's on the Steam Workshop page. Yeah, and see? Riddle should have received some tribute. He must have, because he doesn't have 0 anymore. Is he at 4 population? What the hell? This would be the comeback of the century. Can these two carry the game? I don't know. Oh no, he might need to reset the command to tell him to attack yellow. Okay, never mind. You may need to remind Resonance Bot with 104 to attack yellow, as it strategically will want to attack someone else if it deems necessary. Yeah, so it's basically like it resets the attack command every 5 minutes, I believe. Yeah, so the thing is that Resonance Bot will, by default, strategically, it senses weakness and wants to kill these two players. And this is strategically the correct place to attack, because Resonance Bot will want to take out this trade line, take out these walls, but as we can see here, the system works! I did it! I actually, somehow, against all odds, it was so hard. It was so hard with the 82 HD system. Can Wriggle make a comeback is the question. I don't know. Wait, did he somehow manage to make 2 Janissaries before his castle died? Alright, well my boy Wriggle, he's doing what I do best. Shift Q and villagers. And Resonance Bot's advanced to the Imperial Age. Ladies and gentlemen!
Good to be the king.
Oh, look at that! You see that? That's my son! He just graduated from college, I'm so proud! Did you see that trash talk? Oh, I can't look it up. Oh, who saw that? Who saw that sass? That mad sass. Bring it, Resbot! You do it! Oh, he's coming for you. He's coming for you hot! Wriggle's down, but he's not out. The only real winner is the lag. And like with every Resonance 22 video, it's gonna end in out of sync, and I'm gonna have to upload it anyway, because people are gonna ask me where's the AoE2 content, and I'm gonna tell them I tried. I tried several times. Why don't you upload more viewer games? Because it takes 4 hours to get one watchable game of Age of Empires 2. It shouldn't. But yeah, that's why I shifted over to ExpertCasts. Those weren't as popular as I was hoping they would be, though, which is why I would like to use this as a brief opportunity to make a major public PSA to all people watching. This is extremely important. Go to my YouTube channel right now, and if one of my mods I'll just link it, fuck it, I don't care. But, okay, one of my mods can link it. It's, basically, click the bell icon next to subscribe. So, this is a major public PSA, and a big problem because, for example, very few people knew that I made any new Break the Meta episodes. There's a very clear point that you can see on my channel where my video stopped showing up in your inbox, and you may not have known that there was a Break the Meta 24 and 25, and I uploaded several expert gamecasts, and over time, Age of Empires 2 became really, like, not financially viable for me, unfortunately, and has forced me into, you know, I just need to get a job. I need to get a job, or I'll be able to pay the bills. And a huge part of that is due to, you know, YouTube's continuous ability to surprise me with new features that make things worse. Look at the sick trade line, by the way. That's about you, go. Anyway, so yeah, it continually surprises me with, you know, just feature after feature that makes things worse for content creators. The Adpocalypse, I thought, you know, it couldn't get any worse than that when my ads are worth freaking pennies. And, you can, like, I don't get paid anything, by the way, if you skip the ad before 30 seconds in. So that's the easiest way you can help out the channel. But the other thing is now you actually have to click the bell icon next to subscribe. So being subscribed to me is effectively meaningless, by the way. it's effectively meaningless. It's just random. Google will pick for you, much like how Facebook will curate your newsfeed, what it thinks you might want to watch. But since I took such a long time between Break the Meta episodes, and I didn't release any Break the Meta episodes for like a year because I was trying to find the right replay, you would have never known that I made several new episodes of Break the Meta, because YouTube will never suggest them to you, unless you click the bell icon next to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Oh, poor Wriggle. I should make him a mod after this. He's never gonna be able to kill that cat for him in that watchtower. Heart goes out to it. So, will these guys be able to 2v3 this game? I mean, they shouldn't, but this is a great game. I am posting this on YouTube. So yeah, Wriggle just needs to focus on making lots of villagers. But yeah, click the bell icon. Major PSA. Major PSA. Odilla Carrick says, I subscribed many months ago. Unfortunately, I don't look Empires Apart. Can't stand the looks of the game, just my opinion. Well, don't worry about that, Odilla Carrick. In that, I made a post about this on Patreon. If you pledge just $1 on Patreon, you get access to all the... It's just $1 a month makes a huge difference. Considering how many people skip ads, use ad blocker, and how little they're actually worth. You get access to my exclusive podcasts and content, and I talk a bit about Empires Apart in my most recent podcast, so I'll be taking a bit of a break from Empires Apart until the game is more finished. Alcoholic thinks this game's over. Well, I think, sir, that you might be an alcoholic, and there might be 100 of you. Ready Teddy, thank you so much for your 38-month resub. Because Resbot equals BestBot. I hope you all agree with that. I hope you all agree with that. As I'm a big fan of my robot son. I don't have. Wait, so who's being attacked? Washi. So Washi, if you would like Resonance Bot to actually, I don't know if we want Resonance Bot to switch targets, never mind. I was gonna say, like, if you tell ResinSpot to switch targets... Anyway, he should do it automatically over time. As long as another command isn't sent to him, he will pick the smartest decision. So... he should be shifting... yeah, over here, yeah. And sending an attack over here, yeah. I don't think this game's over. I really don't. It's up to them if they want to call it. It's up to them. It's up to them. Let's see how ResinSpot's doing. ResinSpot's maxed out in population. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Look at this base. It's like it's a work of art. Look at this base. This trade line. This. Oh. That business card. The finish. So smooth. Yeah. Anyway, back to the game. It's probably over. Probably. Yellow is still making rams and attacking orange. I know, it's so funny. So, basically, the only way they can possibly come back in this game is if Wriggle makes 6 town centers and actually just masses up villagers. Then they can actually still win this game. I'm not kidding in that they can still win this game if Wriggle makes more town centers and just masses up villagers like a madman. He has a ton of gold, so he needs to build a market. Okay, he did that. Okay. Where'd the gold go? They're gonna lose if it's a 2v5, because mathematically speaking... oh no, ResinSpot, don't trade with this guy. Mathematically speaking, 400 population is significantly less than 600. Now granted, I don't have the paperwork with me to prove that to you, but most of us went to school, so this is not gonna work. I wish them the best of luck. I wish them the best of luck. They also might want to attack, tell ResinSpot to actually either tribute resources or attack these guys. So, no one knows how to use my AI. It's okay. It's okay. You can tell ResinSpot to attack with 31, then 102 or 101, whichever player. Do people not know that you can communicate with AI? You didn't have to be dying, my friend. Ah, it's okay. It's okay. I made my eye look, do something, so, yeah. The problem is, though, is that the engine's, like, really buggy, and sometimes, the AI will just freeze. I don't know why it's not attacking. Yeah, I don't know why it's not attacking. Yeah, I think it's probably over. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's probably over. What happens is sometimes in AoE2 HD, you'll notice this with the default AI as well, is the AI loses the ability to attack. So what happens is at some point, a failsafe will kick in. You know that HD is coded really poorly when what makes ResinSpot such a great custom AI is its comprehensive failsafe system. That's not a great way to advertise your product. Just you know what? You know what's great about my store? It's not the product we sell necessarily. The product is good. It's that our store is very difficult to break into. It's very secure. The odds of you getting shot while shopping here are very slim. You know, it's like, well, thank you. It's good to know that the shop has excellent security, but... So at some point, a series of failsafes will kick in and ResinSpot will realize that it's trapped in an HD bug due to unit pathing, where it cannot find a viable thing to attack for no reason whatsoever due to HD. It looked really good though for a while. Yeah, I don't know why it stopped attacking. It probably either received a conflicting attack command or just got HD'd out. It may have something to do with this modern art right here as well. But yeah, this happens to not just Resonance Bot, but all AIs where they just stop attacking usually around this time. At some point he will attack, but it will be too late and the game will be over. It's just I have to wait for the failsafes to kick in. Originally, Resonance Bot actually had some performance issues with the game because I had it check the failsafe system too frequently, where it would run checks like, are we still attacking, or did the game's code just die? And that puts strain on the game for it to run those type of calculations. Like, for example, AI's economy sometimes gets stuck, or it will just stop building farms. So I used to have it run checks, and you're like, are we still building farms? Do we remember to build farms? Is that a thing? Very frequently, and that would cause lag. So it's hard for me to find a balance between dealing with the engine issues and how frequent failsafes should be checked. And I don't know when Resbot will attack or why it has stopped, but it looks like the AI itself is probably frozen. It has something to do, believe it or not, with this Eagle Warrior being blocked and just HD Spaghetti Engine. So for those of you wondering, just to provide some closure, I think this is a very fitting way to end off the video. So, Resonance Bot, it appears that you have built a very, sorry, Resonance 22, didn't mean to call you a bot. Just spam 31 and you can resign. Yeah, there is actually an admin command to have it immediately surrender, but it won't surrender at 200 population. So anyway, people would come up to me and be like, Renaissance Son, it looks like you've built a rather impressive AI. Why haven't you updated in a while? Oh, the failsafes are triggering. There you go. Or, yeah, or what may have happened, oh, I know what happened. Is the reason Washi died is he didn't use the chat menu. But the tagged enemy now, yeah. And while we were waiting for the failsafe to kick in, which it would, it always does actually, I tested it extensively with like, by using like, run tons of simulations at the same time. It always gets unstuck. I would say that there's like a 1% margin for error at this point, but people often ask me, you've created such a great AI, I love it so much, why don't you update it more? And it's because of frustrating shit like this. Is why I don't update it anymore. I'm still gonna release another update, but I would update it more frequently if the game wasn't freeze framing and this wasn't the thing, for example, and also if it just wasn't such a buggy engine. Like, there's no reason that the AI should just get stuck attacking or stuck with its economy. I shouldn't have to put in, actually, I think a few thousand lines worth of failsafe checks. And has to failsafe check everything, including, like, did we remember our upgrades for X? Well, he's got all those upgrades for X. But yeah, what happened, I think there was Washi didn't use the chat menu to actually communicate with the AI. So, Washi, what happened is let me guess, you did not use the chat menu to actually send any commands, did you? Thank you, Meadowlark, for the donation. Really appreciate it. This is a donation just for Resbot. Thank you. Yeah, I worked on this for 4 years. Put my heart and soul into it. And I didn't make a penny off it. So thank you. So now I can say proudly, Meadowlark, I made $7.19 off of God knows thousands of hours of work. But yeah, so Washi, yeah. See, no one. I'm surprised that my own subscriber base doesn't know how AIs work, or... But that's something, though, that Skybox should have fixed with an HD remake of a game from 1999, is not require you to use the chat menu to communicate with AIs, and instead, you know, allow it just to work normally. That would have been great. But, yeah, only Regal knows that you have to do it that way. And the AI does tell you that at the start of the game. God, I'm actually dying from my allergies right now. I will get through this game, though. Who watched Resonance Bot's Last Stand? I'll answer anyone's quick questions, and then I won't sit here until he dies, necessarily, unless he dies very quickly. We'll see. Anyone have any questions? Washi says, haven't played the game in a while and forgot about that little feature. Indeed, and that is the case with actually the vast majority of my viewer base. So, people often ask me, Renaissance 22, what happened? At one point you had, you know, 650 live viewers on Twitch, and you know, you were huge. Well, what happened was patch 4.0 happened, actually, in that my average viewer, it's not like they all went to the Viper NT90. They cater to a somewhat different audience, even though I think that it's largely due, at least between me and T90, largely due to misconception in that I don't cater to players of, you know, that are anything beyond new. That's not the case at all. I provide some of the most in-depth analysis and casting there is in my AE2 Expert series. T90 likewise also offers great in-depth analysis. We both do. The misconception is that I don't. That's just flat out false. Just because I have tutorials and I do things for new players doesn't mean, and I do coaching and I explain things, doesn't mean I don't also offer really in-depth advice. I routinely consult you know, the Viper and Tato, for example, on what are some things that casters never talk about that really matter to pro players. And that's why I did topical videos on scouting, for example, like that, and rush distance. So yeah. But, so it's not like, you know, I did 2 channels. Which is understandable, as the Viper is a master streamer. He has like got it down to a science, and he's arguably one of the best players in the world, if not the best player. So of course, NT90 is an extremely great caster who's super active. He has that energy in him that I can't and don't have, and that's because I've been doing this for longer than any of them. I'm doing this for 7 years. And I started the entire Age of Empires 2 mainstream YouTube and Twitch scene. There were no Age of Empires videos or channels or casters before. There were always tournaments and players, but there were never... It was not a mainstream thing. You know, I don't even... You know, Zero Empires actually told me that I inspired him to start his own channel. And I'm really flattered by that. So... But where most of my viewers actually went is... Around the time of patch 4.0, they just stopped playing Age of Empires 2 and got bored of it. And there was a time in my channel, actually, where the majority of my time was actually spent streaming other games. I actually was predominantly a Pokemon channel for a while. No one really remembers that because none of the viewers had left over from those days. Because the Age of Empires videos were more popular, even though I just did more Pokemon content, and the Pokemon people felt alienated, and a lot of them aren't around anymore. Some are, but a lot of them aren't, and the Age of Empires 2 videos, they just did so well that, you know, people call me a sellout for taking taking, you know, deals that are obviously not worth the money, but yeah, I ended up doing more and more Age of Empires content over time because it was just doing so well. And the thing is that my average viewer just got bored of the game. They had been, you know, I would say that the turnover rate on them is they would play it for about 2 years, and then, you know, that was about it. That was about all they could see. And I would say that after 700 videos of Age of Empires 2, I have basically said every single piece of analysis there is. Rolo Kingdom, some people have said, has brought new life into the game for them, but I'm not a huge fan of the current metagame, to be perfectly honest, and I don't expect it to change anytime soon, so... See, now Resonance Spot's like playing like a boss, I'm just gonna beat all 3 of them. Shit. Oh, guys. Look at this. Again, Resonance Bot has the most complex, I think, like, in-depth counter system for at least an HD AI. It's not nearly as good as the Barbarian, don't get me wrong. No, nowhere near. But it uses an algorithm that's custom made by me that I use to design my own army comps and just destroy people. But yeah, so just a lot of my viewers ended up just stop watching my content because they only think I do Age of Empires 2, and they're not interested in Age of Empires 2, and they don't play it. I know that because, for example, I had like 350 people on my Steam friends list, and you know, those used to be my 350 like live Twitch viewers, right? And many of them haven't played Age of Empires 2 in years, and they haven't watched me in years because of that. So that's one of the reasons why variety content is so important, because in reality, my actual viewer base is not just solely... God, Resin Spot's playing so fucking disgustingly well. This is actually beautiful. This is beautiful. He's just want me doing all of it. I'm gonna resign at some point, because I don't think anyone wants to... I can't get over this. I can't get over this. What? What? You get him, son! Mr. Dead. Thank you so much for 41 monthly sub. Really appreciate it, my man. Oh my god! They're just not making the right units. I don't know what's going on here. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, this army comp is, like, meticulously, mathematically well-balanced. It's so funny. It's so funny that these guys are just struggling so hard they're actually gonna die. They're actually gonna lose. So why are they gonna lose? What do they need to build? Mass skirms are horrendous versus this army, so that's a starter. And Resin Spot is taking full advantage of the fact that, do we have, like, double mass skirms going on? What's going on? What's going on here? I'm confused. So, we need hand cannoneers, and we need, bombard cannons. So we need gunpowder. Yeah, we need gunpowder. So! And, like, a fat trade line. And you wanna know why? You wanna know why? Because Resin Spot's still trading with Wriggle. That's unbelievable. Oh my god. Oh my god. And to think this could have all been avoided and they would have won the game too if they used the trumpet icon and actually to communicate with the bot. You know the game is bad when Henry Jeanette is forced to research fortified walls. Oh god, they're all research fortified walls. What the hell? The hero of time has used 300 bits. Thank you! Since I recently got into AoE 2 after playing as a kid and found your content really helpful in getting better at game. Thanks. You're also really pleasant to listen to. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you continue to support me as I branch out. I was hoping that Empires Apart was going to be a breath of fresh air for me, but, and it is. It's just that, well, I don't think it was the graphics. I think it was just the game was just not complete on launch. So, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the 300 bits. The support's, it means a lot to me. Odoa Carrick says, I think every caster's good in his own way. Zero was the one who brought me back to AoE. He's not regularly casting, though. 290 has been damn good, and I like his attitude. You were the one I learned the most while watching Resident Evil 22. Great content, thank you so much. Yeah, I agree. Every caster is great in their own way. Every single one of them. And I love them all. But I'm just explaining to people that it's not like my average view. People say, you know, just mass produce more AoE content. Like, that will do it. And no, that won't, because my average viewer is a little bit different. The most viewership that I have overlap with is actually MEMS viewers, generally speaking, are the ones that I have the most overlap with. 7 years of analytics. Several social media pages. One AI that is capable of almost, but not quite, 1v3ing. 3 legitimately decent players, but will not in the end. Why? Because Resin Spot's out of money. I have no voice left. Go to Resin Spot's perspective? Yes. So, you might be wondering, so what's happening right now? What is even happening? Well, to answer this question, Resin Spot doesn't cheat nearly as much as you think it does. It doesn't. In fact, I balanced it incredibly meticulously. So for starters, it's relying on gold income from a dead guy, which is a little messed up when you think about it ethically, but I don't even know what Wriggle thinks about this. And it's relying on trade income from a dead guy, and there are halberdiers here, and there's just HD unit pathing that is never fixed, and that's quite bad. So, yeah, Resin Spot just doesn't cheat that like nearly as much as people think it does. And it scales down over time. And it's also directly proportional to the amount of villagers that it has as well. So, rating it actually means something. I designed it really carefully. Really carefully. To make sure that it was as fair as possible. And because, yeah, a lot of people are lazy with their AIs, and you're gonna find games, most RTS games, where they're just like, oh, we'll just give the AI on hardest, you know, it just generates resources every second, and you'll see a badly designed cheating AI if it has 1,000,000 stone, for example. See how the stone amount's not changing? Yeah. Well, it doesn't receive critical resources. A well-designed cheating AI is one that does not out-sustain you. Resonance Bot has only been able to beat the crap out of these guys so far because it has been building a superior army comp. It's just been building the right units. Look at how obnoxious this army comp is actually to deal with. But it has no money. It has no money. I'm not gonna sit in this game forever though. I am gonna back out. They don't have to kill if they don't want to. I think I have Henry on my friends list, and I can just tell them they don't have to. Yeah. Yep. GG, well played. Yeah, it just yeah, it does need the additional resources at the start though. It does. It absolutely does. Otherwise, like, the AI just is so vulnerable to rushes and exploits. But yeah, I didn't want it to be unbeatable in the late game, of course, obviously, and it's definitely not. As it, because I feel like there's only two things that the AI in AoE 2 could ever do better than a human, and that's eco management and like what Trebuchet Micro and Monk Micro. Because like the individual unit micro doesn't matter, because that's not how you efficiently micro units. It's annoying, and that's why Resonance Bot actually has a setting that you can use to turn that down, actually, which no one knows about because they'll read FAQ. It's there. But for example, if you're having a hard time breaking through Resonance Bot because he's building a better army than you know what you do? The same thing you do to beat a human. Raise his economy, and then you're in a good shape. Because not only does that reduce any resources that he'll get in the higher difficulties, but also those resources go down over time, and eventually they just stop completely. In a 1v1 single player, for example, they stop, I think, at 50 minutes. So, yeah. I designed it really carefully. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. But these guys are getting murdered because they're just not coordinated. And they're not coordinating, and Resonance Bot is a really strong army comp. The Incas are a really good civilization. But yeah, GG, well played. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you all enjoyed some Age of Empires 2 casting. As you can tell, I'm running out of voice. Something random. I appreciate the cheers, but I don't think those will show up because that's effectively like 25 cents or something. I think it requires a minimum of at least 50. But he says, all I can say is you've made my gaming and Twitch experience better. I thoroughly enjoy your personality and commentary. Take my free bits and buy a gumball. Really appreciate something around. Thank you, and I hope that you stick around again as I inevitably have to branch out into other games to pay the bills. Thank you, Pumpkin, for following. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Because the thing with AoE 2 is I did a bunch of episodes of Break the Meta, but look at Break the Meta 25. Definitely did not pay for itself. And part of that is definitely due to people not clicking the bell icon next to subscribe, definitely. And not following me on my social media, so they don't know if like videos are uploaded. But yeah. Inevitably, Age of Empires 2 is going to be something that would be very difficult for me to compete in, because look at that. I have never seen an AI ever, and I mean ever, that has actually had a better unit KD than a human. That's actually nuts. The unit skill, even Resonance Bot is really bad at this, where the units lost with AIs, like, it's usually a slaughter fest, but in this case, it wasn't. I'm really proud of that. Like, gosh. And my heart goes out to Wriggle, who really took one for the team. Dude, look at this! Look at this! Highest trade profit with a dead guy! What? What? What up? What? Oh. I love Age of Empires 2, I really do. But I needed to explain a couple things here, and hopefully you all watched to the end, and if you did, please leave a comment below. And if you click the bell icon, that way you get access to my channel updates. And just you'll know when things are uploaded. And for those of you who aren't a fan of Empires Apart because you can't stand the graphic style, you can still support the channel by watching those videos and not skipping the ads, to support the channel, to support me, because you think the structure of the video is really good, and you like the content, you like my commentary. It doesn't matter about the game. The game is a factor, though, I agree, and that's why I don't, make Farmville videos, but, believe it or not, things like, Hearthstone is a very different game from Age of Empires 2, but is very popular among my, my viewer base, and is something that, data shows I should definitely be doing more of, and it is the only game I still play daily, so I should definitely be doing more of that. Pokemon is still really popular, for example. Pokemon is something that I hope that all of you actually give a really serious chance, because while I play Hearthstone for fun and just to experiment with like these crazy deck ideas and have a blast, Pokemon is one of the deepest, most interesting competitive strategy games out there. And it's a lot like Age of Empires 2 in that it's a game that you probably grew up with as a child, and you can't fathom that it has a competitive scene with this much depth. But there are the Viper equivalents in Pokemon, and it does have that high, ridiculously high skill ceiling. There are 3 different types of Elos in that game. It's such a cool competitive game, and if you haven't seen my Pokemon tutorial, definitely watch it. It'll blow your mind. And it's something I want to do more of. So, thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate the support as always. This was exhausting. I have completely destroyed my voice and throat casting this match, as it went on for a really long time. So, really appreciate the support as always. And I'll see you all in the next video.